So as I said, I had a lot of experience as a child playing Dragon Warrior Monsters. I spent probably about as much time as that on that as I did on Pokemon. It was one of the things I remember I was saying. While I played a lot of both, honestly, the things I remember the most as a kid from playing Pokemon was exploring the glitches, which still fascinate me as an adult. I will say that. I do find the way that the glitches came to be and how they affect the game and stuff like that to be very compelling and interesting. It is an interesting thing to read up on. The glitches in the first Pokemon games are very quirky, peculiar things. They tend to have some very strange side effects tied to Whoa, those are very expensive. The sparkling blue look like a pond. Alright, so, but yeah, the glitches in the game are artifacts, basically, of the way that it was used. They would use the same variable for different things to save memory, because it was hard to come by on a little teeny tiny Game Boy cartridge at that time. Now you could put so much memory in the same space as a Game Boy cartridge. But the doubling up on the functions of different variables meant that they could be used if you basically tricked it into thinking it was using the variable for a different thing that it was also adjusted by or from, made it so that variable could trigger different things. One of the things is that can manipulate the stats and the type of Pokemon that would appear under weird circumstances. Well, just so happens that a lot of those weird circumstances are able to be generated through glitches in the game, making it so that you can make a lot of weird Pokemon that aren't supposed to exist, and it's also basically the only way to get Mew. Although because of the situations where you can find Mew, it's very limited what Mew you can have. You can only get it to show up with just specific stats, which aren't official stats, and it's very easy to tell that it's not an official from Nintendo Mew that you got in Special Hunt. But those glitches were all very compelling and fascinating and stuff. But when it came to playing the game, I did not find it nearly as enjoyable as I did Dragon Warrior Monsters. Dragon Warrior Monsters, I did everything there really was to do in the game. Like I said, the only thing I didn't really have was Darkdream, and the only reason I didn't have Darkdream was basically that I didn't spend enough time. I had gotten all the way up to the very end of that, and then at some point I just happened to run out of oomph for the game and hadn't come back to it because newer systems didn't come out, and so I just had to end up back at the game, and then I had Infinity games, as I do now. And so while I still adore it, there's been plenty of improved games that use the same method now. Like I went to Dragon Warrior Monster 2 and it came along. I played it a ton. I never got anywhere near the same distance that I got in the first game. But I certainly did spend a ton of time on it. I do remember finding seeds for your monsters was like friggin' super exciting, and that there was a couple of maps that happened to have more than others. Did I get another one? Yes, I did. And so I would wander those places a lot trying to get them to show up. And so I ended up maxing Till, which was my Mad Cat. I ended up maxing its intelligence and attack, I think. Or maybe it was intelligence and speed, and I got its attack fairly high, probably. I definitely wasn't ever short on the stats for the ones that I was. And then I got my gold slime, which was a big deal to me because I really like the gold slime as well. And then, what was my third one? Was it Rainhawk? It might have been Rainhawk. I might have had Mad Cat, Gold Slime, Rainhawk. And then, I eventually ended up with Mad Cat, Gold Slime, and whichever boss monster that I had, because you needed to level it up so much that it just kind of became my permanent party member. And that's what basically the stall was on trying to get Darkdream, was that by the time you get all the way up to Deathmore, all of the so what is the thing I forgot about? 50. Alright, well, I guess I know what we're doing. And that will also help me not use up Brimstone quite quickly. But yeah, I always had my Mad Cat on my team. It was my favorite monster in the first game. Although that's not to say that there weren't other monsters that I didn't like, but I really, really like my Mad Cat. And then my Gold Slime came with the perk of being so high in defense and everything. I wanted to get to where it was a Gold Slime with Big Bang and Big Bang, Heal Us All, and Revive. The 3 spells I wanted to make sure it had. Because it basically, there were only a few things like Clean Cut and being tripped were basically the only threats to it. And while tripping is semi-common, Clean Cut was only won by like 2 or 3 days. And so, by then the amount of stats that it had made it really, really good. But, like, the situation with Death, high level of stats that it had at that point meant that leveling it up was nightmare. And so that was the biggest thing that was getting down in the game, was the fact that the later in the game you get, the leveling up just becomes really, really overwhelming. And so I was somewhere in the middle of leveling up my death more, and the creatures that I needed to get to it were hard enough to find that I ended up not being able to get everything going. Although I did have the Wadaboo and Wadabo and everything I needed, I just never ended up with that last tier. Every creature transformed into a creature that belongs to the same race and gains a massive amount of attack and intelligence. But, I put in so many hours in that game. This creature. But it also sounds like one that has very few casts. It takes small amount of damage or massive damage if it is defensive. And so because of the fact that I do love the Dragon Warrior Monsters series that is so hard to access in the States, I'm only 1/50th of the way, or I'm 1/50th of the way closer. There are circumstances where I can get 5 points. They're rare, but they could happen, so it's not outrageous. It's gonna be slow going for the biggest thing. I was really hyped when the second one came out. I played Tara's Adventure. I didn't ever play Kobe's Journey. They are the same but different, kind of like Pokemon. But I only ever had one, whereas I had both Pokemon games. Which, again, as I say, is peculiar because I actually enjoyed more the Dragon Warrior monsters game. And we only got 2 of them in the States. There's, I think, hypothetically, like 5 or 6 in Japan. And they never come to the States anymore. So, we ended up with this. And you know what? While it is an alternative and not the same, it's a pretty nice alternative. And I think it's done some pretty major improvements over those games, at least the ones that have showed up here, since I don't know anything about the ones that aren't here because I didn't want to read about them and make myself sad. Although I do miss the monsters that I did like that were designed in those games. So I do like my cat, my great saber cat, as they call it now. I like the designs of the monsters. While they were lower fantasy, I suppose, in a sense, not quite as fantastical as Pokemon, and even that seems a little bit far-fetched to claim. While they aren't as fantastical, I guess they're drawn from more traditional sources. The monsters, Dragon Ball monsters, Dragon Quest monsters, are more classical designs, ones that you recognize in history in some way, semi-generic, although I still feel like generic is a little bit condescending of that, but I guess that comes from the fact that, like, there's dragon, and it's a dragon, and it is a dragon, and it looks like a dragon, and there are some bosses that are also dragons, and they look like dragons, and so there are numerous that are all in the same class, and all look like the same type of thing, kind of like Indians, but they're from somewhat generic sources, I suppose. You have your phoenix, that is a phoenix, and you have your dragon, that is a dragon, and you're actually like 14 dragons that are dragons. And your slime that is a teardrop with a smiley face. Oh, my freaking God. And you have literal color swaps, or palette swaps that are different beasts, and in Pokemon there are some that I would call palette swaps. I mean, Lustle and Minun, it's a hard sell to say that they're two different Pokemon. But while it did have that more generic flavor to it, I really liked the designs, and I never had a problem with palette swaps. You can ask Shin, I mean, he's probably the only one who would know my gaming interests enough to know that, other than me saying it on the stream numerous times. But, like, I don't mind palette swaps. I mean, like, one of my favorite Mario enemies is the Shy Guy, and I like them when there's lots of different variations of them. I like the Koopa Troopas, and they have palette swaps. I like the Yoshis, and they're very much palette swappy. I like Kirby and Ronald D, and they both have palette swappy kind of things. I liked Goombas more once I found out they had like the Galoombas and stuff like that, where they have different variations that are still noticeably and definitively the same species or genus. And while Pokemon has done a little bit to kind of emphasize more of that true biological evolution type of format where there are different things but they're similar enough you can tell that they're related. Dragon Warrior Monsters did that better. And it's always been kind of part of it to have similar creatures that are not the same creature, whether they be palette swaps or just things with slight variation and things like that. But they all feel like they're part of a family of creatures, and I really like that. But I can see how someone might like Pokemon more for the fact that their creatures are more creative, in quotes. I've used quotes a lot while discussing this because I think it's just too condescending. Because I do not think that Dragon Warrior Monsters and Dragon Quest are uncreative at all. I just think that I could see someone declaring that about them if they were wanting to look at it in a cynical way. I don't like how they've embraced this Gashapon format for the getting the monsters in the mobile game. It disappoints me. I think that there's enough value in their characters and stuff like that that they could have gone with a better format for a game. That is inherently one of the things with the premium model, but I've never been a big fan of premium. The only reason Pokemon Go gets a pass is because, well, there is certainly luck to the Pokemon Go thing. Its freemium is done really well. For the most part, unless you're including, like, some of the special rewards from, like, events. Which are mostly, like, the birthday celebration, anniversary celebration for Pokemon Go, stuff like that, where you can get some special Pokemon. Like, I don't know whether Shiny Mew will always be tied to the 5th anniversary celebration thing. If it is, then I might be able to get it anyway, because I paid for that. But generally, I think you'll be able to catch them all eventually without ever spending a dime. I think that's completely plausible. The only things that I know of that are locked to those kind of subscription things, well, it's not even a subscription, pay once, is the special event Pokemon like the Shiny Mew. And even that, Shiny Celebi, as far as I can tell, was not a pay feature. I think that you just got it by completing the quest line. One day on the thing. But so it does, it gets a pass. I will say that they managed to create a form of premium that isn't flawless. There are certainly issues with it. And it still is freemium, which in and of itself does take points off. But they managed to make a freemium where I was willing to play it very long term. I've played it for all 5 years at different amounts of activity over that time. They've definitely polished it from how it used to be. It had some bigger issues that were eventually addressed. But right now, the most BS things you're gonna have to deal with is either if you're trying to get perfect IVs, which is completely luck-based, or if you're trying to get shinies, which is more or less luck-based. There are some exceptions, like you'll get things where they're eventually on a community maybe or things like that, where It's still kind of luck-based, but if you even slightly try, you're gonna get it. But yeah, so premium. I do have to say, it took a lot for someone to sell me premium, because I don't like it at all. And I've had so many. Yay, I got one. I've had so many experiences with less good premium. And there's even a Pokemon premium game that I've tried that I didn't like. That one puzzle game. Pokemon. I think I still have it on the phone. I just don't play it. Whatever it's called. I've played it a lot, and got tired of the, oh, you've used up all your tries for today, come back tomorrow, or you can pay this and you can go back to playing right away. It mostly just makes me not want to play the game. I've never had one that was so compelling that I would spend money to do that. The other ones that I think are the closest to being premium, in a sense, I guess you could call Duolingo a premium learning thing, but it is also an educational thing, so it's not just flat out entertainment. I have absolutely learned things about Japanese because I've done Duolingo. It gives me more of a benefit than just having a little bit of entertainment, because if it's just start to finish, it's just a way of entertaining myself. I have lots of sources of entertainment. I don't need just a cheap game. And so I will never be sold on a premium game unless you put it in just the right context. And Pokemon Go is the only one that succeeded in doing that. It sounds like Dragon Quest Tact does not win on that ground, which really sucks because I like the monsters in Dragon Quest, and I would have loved the ability to, you know, do and collect them in a similar way to go. But one of the big issues with Pokemon, or with it compared to Pokemon Go, is there's no real Gashapon in Pokemon Go except for the IVs. And the IVs, it really depends. I'm not that much of a purist on IVs and stuff. I definitely save if I get one that has perfect IVs or whatever. But you can't trade them. If you trade them, their stats change. So it's not like if someone else wants those nice IVs, it means anything. And so I don't really see any importance in it other than getting ones for battling in raids. Because I'm not one of the people who does the league and stuff, because I've never really cared much for tournament battle. Tournament is one of the least enjoyable experiences in my life. I don't like tournament mode in games. I play games to have fun. I don't play games to beat people. I don't play games to put my name at the top of a chart. But I also know that if I get started on that, I will end up becoming obsessed with it, even though I know for a fact I don't have enough skill to, which means the only result of it is me being upset, and so I don't have any reason to really engage in any type of competitive play with stuff. And so I did a little bit of their tournaments mode thing when it first started, just so I could, you know, mark that I'd done it, check it off the list. I was very timeline, 100% of damage based on their defense. I also got a few of the items that you got that way. That was the main reason I think I did it, was because you could get rare candy. You got so many, and rare candy is useful. But since I am usually only practicing one or two things at a time right now on there, I just with them. And it works fine for me. And so that's what I do, or I get the rare candy by doing raids. I mean, I end up with enough of it that it's not really that big of a concern to me. And so, I guess the biggest thing that I could get from it is the silver berries. The reason the silver berries would be nice is because they'd be useful for when I do raids, but it's not worth my patience. And so, so with that, I mean, I've decided what parts of the game I care about and which parts I don't. I'm not trying to like 100% it and be the very best like no one ever was, because I'm not. What is the name? Satoshi in Japan? It's Ash. But I'm not trying to make the top of the leagues. It doesn't mean anything to me. So because it doesn't mean anything to me, back I don't concern myself with this. I don't concern myself with it. I'm fine with the game. If it's a non-consequence of me, then I can just enjoy the game how I want to enjoy the game, and it sounds like a win to me. I mean, so again, I guess if you're hell-bent, just absolutely hell-bent on doing everything, then you're either gonna have to do a lot of walking and spending quite a bit of money, either you're gonna spend a lot of money and do a lot more walking, or you're at the very least gonna be doing a lot more. I mean, I still do quite a bit of walking. I have made that part of my process. I don't try and play the game. I made the stupid mistakes when I was younger, and I'm not going to do that anymore. And so I walk. That's it. It's off if I'm in the car. And so now that I've, matured and I'm not a foolish person playing a game in my car, I've earned any distance and stuff I have unlocked from that. Every once in a while I'll get like a lot from, like, if I'm right at the end of an enemy, I'll like shake my phone to get it there if I'm at home. But for the most part, I mean, it's actual genuine footsteps around. Because, I mean, that's part of the game, and that was actually part of what I commended the game about originally, was that, the game encouraged you to get out and walk and actually, be part of the, or spend time getting help. I thought that was a completely commendable goal of the game, even if in reality the overall MO of the game is to make money for Nintendo. And so, even as much as you've heard me gripe about Nintendo, I'll give them credit where credit's due. I think they did a good job for Pokemon Go. Niantic has had some issues over time, but they fixed a lot. It's a pretty enjoyable thing, and I still engage in it after 5 years. I still have it on my phone. I still check it at least once a day. I'm in the middle of trying to get Future right now, although I didn't get very good ones when it's out of the spawn list again, so I gotta wait until the next time it's available. But I am walking with my Goonie, so if I end up walking my way to 250 candy, then I'll end up walking my way to 250 candy. Oh well. That's the main thing I'm interested in. And I'm a tenth of the way on art. But yeah, so I will. I'll give him credit where credit's due. It's an enjoyable game. Perfect game? No, absolutely not. Are there some annoying flaws and things in it? Absolutely. It has plenty of room for improvement, but at the current time, it seems like the people in charge of it are willing to work on that improvement. And so, it sounds good to me. I mean, I can only give them praise for doing the best that they can. So the biggest mistake they had was when they had this 5th anniversary thing where it was very obvious that they were going to have a lot of people playing. Because even if you didn't pay for the thing, there were still special events going on. There were so many people playing the game that all the servers just shut down for the first 2 hours of the event. Well, the event had timed rewards. And so they ended up shut down for the first 2 times rewards, which looped twice anyway. So if you were active in the game, you could still get them. But as an apology, they reran those 2 events. Actually, they reran the whole first day's events, awards again on a different day for I think everybody, and I thought that was pretty cool. I can see how like premium payers or whatever can get angry at. Okay, I really don't care about that. I contribute money to a game if I feel it earned the money. I'm not worried about whether I'm of an elite status when I play the game. I definitely do want to feel like the money that I pay is worth it. And winning large amount of but I don't want to like I know there was a person who when they made it so shinies or legendaries could be shiny. When they did that, if a legendary shows up and is shiny, it will catch on the first throw. It will absolutely catch on the first throw. And I'm super thankful for that because I would have a heart attack otherwise with the legendary shiny. But they gave that with Unbreakable Shield. But they put that, it's a term that I use all the time for games, oh, quality of life. They put that little quality of life modification in. Ooh! Yay! And I'm super thankful for it. But I know someone who is angry. They're like, oh, that takes all the reward out of it if it's shiny and it can't run away. And I'm like, I don't know how much you play, but I would be devastated. Oh, get around. Cheesers! Cheesers! Look at cheesers. I did not get cheesers out there. A large mouse or a large rat out there or whatever. But yeah, they were all mad about it, and I was like, I'm here to have fun. I'm not here to, like, demonstrate my superiority to others. And so it bothered me. Like, it genuinely bothered me that they would be mad about a quality of life feature in the game. Especially because shinies are purely like a fun thing. They don't improve your Pokemon's fighting ability. They don't anything. It's literally just a, oh, that's cool, look at that kind of thing. And so, I don't know, it really, I mean, I remember, that was like 3 years ago, and I remember it because it bothered me so much that someone would be so angry about a quality of life feature. And so I am super, super glad that the team put in a workaround for the legendary shiny. Because you still don't get them for free. You still have to go out and run them, and it's still a luck of the draw. There are legendaries I don't have shinies of, even though I would love to. I still don't have my Rayquaza as the earliest one. Well, I guess the legendary birds are the earliest ones, but I never... It took me a long time to get the legendary birds at all, because I missed the first time around because I wasn't doing battles. And, but I have Kyogre and Groudon, and then I have Lugia and Ho, and I think I have at least one more that I can't think of. I don't have shiny Mewtwo, and I don't have shiny Rayquaza. I do have shiny Celebi, and I am on track to get shiny, but I'm nowhere near it yet. I gotta catch 10 dark types and 26 ice types still. And it'll happen in time, but I'm not there yet. And then you gotta catch like 1,000 Pokemon or something, and that'll happen eventually. But ooh, I like those fours. Those are good. But yeah, so it's just slow going. But I mean, I'll get there eventually. And then most of the other shinies that... Oh, I also have the 2 of the 3 legendary dogs. I do not have Entei because I missed that one. And then I have pretty much all the community day shinies except for I had no luck on my retardo. I had no luck on my retardo. I made numerous jokes because around here I found more Magikarps on Larvitar Day than I found Larvitar, which made the shiny chances low. And it turned out it's because of, and this is one thing that I consider a flaw in the game, and I hope it gets fixed at some point. If you place down a lure, hey, look, I know it. If you place down a lure, and damn, I'm just getting decorations. On the lure. If you place down a lure on a stop before Community Day starts, it spawns non-Community Day Pokemon. And if you place it after it starts, it spawns Community Day Pokemon until it ends. Wow, Crystal Spears. Ooh. Well, that day, someone had put up lures everywhere before the event started, meaning that almost all the Pokemon were Larvitar. And since there was no water event going on, it mostly made Magikarps appear. That's the amount of damage. I bet that's up 3. And so I had terrible luck on Larvitar Day because the main hub of town was all spawned every Pokemon except the one I wanted. And so I don't have Larvitar. I do have a shiny Meltan despite not owning Let's Go, because I don't have Switch. I don't have a Melmetal because so many Meltans so I do not have a Melmetal. I could do it if I walked 46 years with them, but I just haven't. I got some sort of news, but I didn't see what it was because I went too quickly there. I have many of my favorites in China, if they're available. Which there are a couple I don't have because they're not available. For example, Boomy is not China. I'll see. Special events have made it so that a lot of them I've had a chance to get them shiny really easily. I have a shiny Vulpix, for example. I have a shiny Ho, which I really like. Well, it's not very rainbow-y, which for a rainbow food, I found very weird. But I still like it because I like orange. I think of it, or what some of those are. I have shiny Growlithe. I don't have shiny Houndour yet, love to get one of them because it's big. Where all these go? It's officially stranked. Third one. Get up to strength. What are we at? Anyway. Hawk ship is what they're called. We see. Glory. We're pretty far on that. Yeah, so Dragon Warrior Monsters is my favorite of the monster characters where the Dragon Quest mobile game on the other hand is a big huge letdown, and I'm not surprised. Oh, look. Steel Storm. Enemies take it. But it does make me sad, because I would much rather than Pokemon. Black Ice takes 50% damage. Or to be afflicted with frozen. Get where the turn comes from. Black Ice is nearly invisible. You can't see it very well off the street. Go-go! Jasper! Jasper's adorable. Not that I care much for either company, but I do care more for one game than the other. Because I also feel like Dragon Warrior Monsters never got the appreciation that was a big part of it. It was a really good game, and I didn't know anyone. I knew, I guess, like 4 people who played it out of all of the people I knew. And I bet if I brought it up by name, most people wouldn't even remember it existed. I don't even know if my friends who played it back then would remember Shin. Which is too bad, because I freaking loved it. I mean, I really did. I liked the mechanics of it more. I liked the designs of the characters in a different way than Pokemon, because I don't dislike Pokemon. We've been over. That I very much do like the designs of Pokemon. It's just that it scratches a slightly different itch, I suppose. Could be one way to explain it. But all in all, I just liked Dragon Warrior Monsters more. Got that appreciation. It deserves that appreciation. So I'm glad that whoever designed this really took inspiration from Dragon Warrior Monsters, because Dragon Warrior Monsters, because it was a good game series that never showed up in the States anywhere near the same as it did in Japan. Wish I saw many of the games. I probably would have played them all as a kid. Slash adult when they came out. But They didn't. And another thing is, I don't think they would have had the same quality of life benefits that this has, where you can just neum straight through the battles. You're still doing them, but they go by really quickly. And I really appreciate that, because when I was a kid, and it was a big problem with Pokemon, especially because of the fact that you can only use one at a time. You can only fight one thing at a time. And the way you encountered monsters in it was, like, if there were rarer ones, I spoke them. You'd just be fishing and fishing and fishing for that same Pokemon. Now, what I will give to Pokemon over Dragon Warrior Monsters is Dragon Warrior Monsters, to get a monster, give it meat, and then you have to defeat it, and then it might join you. And that was the thing that I did not enjoy. Over time, you end up with a bunch of monsters anyway. But if you're looking for certain ones, you have nearly zero control over it. Unless you have a lot of high-tier meat in your inventory. And so basically, when you would go to a realm, the big thing was stock up on all your meats, go to the area that you were going to go to. You would throw out all the meat by the end if it was something, if it was a place full of. And then you would come back and rinse and repeat, because you would make much money while you were there. So you could buy more meat. And I don't think you could do that with the bosses. I don't think you could summon them to join you that way. It's possible, I suppose. I don't know. But so what I'm doing now is research. says it's right here. It says it's right here. Here, notice. I don't think I have anything that I can do with it. Well, that's annoying. Alright, well. Oh, one more person. As I was saying before the weird situation. Run out. I'm gonna just keep going until what you do is the project. Sorry, project. Okay. Or chaos. I didn't even see what I thought. I was reading too many things all at once. Dude, you could, like, destroy me, it looks like. I mean, you probably couldn't because I'm still really powerful, but you're a big spooky guy, and I feel like you're spooky. So the fact that you're that scary, feels good. I just totally lost track of what I was doing because of whatever the heck that was on there. I could not interact with it though, so whatever it was beyond my control and anything that I was doing. But yeah, so Pokemon is the one that everyone has grown to remember and adore when it comes to monster catching. But I really do have to say, it was not my favorite. It's the easy answer. For it to be a favorite, it very much is the easy answer. But it is. It's not my favorite. My favorite is probably Marijuana Monsters. Despite the fact that it's all in all, I guess would be one way of saying. That's increase that reach when they take the current value. Yeah, that's some nice knowledge. I definitely like seeing different interpretations of the monster catcher stuff. I would probably be totally down for all the Pokemon bootlegs with the totally different monsters and all those as far as seeing all their bestiaries. Collectible monster bestiaries are awesome, and I really wish more games had the ability to, in some way, collect the creatures. I like having creatures as allies, but even if it's like getting cards of them or things like that, I do like being able to have a reason to interact with them. That's one of the things where I wish more people had liked Jade Cocoon, because I really like Jade Cocoon. I like Jade Cocoon's sequel, even though I was never that good at it. And it's particularly obscure, it seems. And it was a good game. had very interesting design concepts. I was super into it. I thought it was really cool. And it only had 2 games, and then it was discontinued just like all the rest of those. Monster Hunter had a couple of sequels and a lot of monsters, but as far as I know, it's done as well. I liked what they were doing too. For all my qualms about Digimon, there are still some cool. Oh, now I have all the horsemen. Let's turn that in. It will be nighttime. But yeah, there were still cool Digimon as well. There's just definitely some mechanics to Digimon I don't like. And the American theme song was really bad. And the style of play was not particularly compelling to me. And the weird focus on making humanoid characters. Pop up thing. Back and forth. One's literally facing away. Click, 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 click. Yeah, I think it was pretty effective. One's definitely out of that one. It's a brand. It's still leaking. I think if I stick around until I get all the coins I need, that one will, that will get me a lot of grand. So I have 3 cards now. Unicorn is part of the unicorns. as a caster, it doesn't seem that useful. And okay. Alright, so I'm gonna head out. I gotta work in the morning. Not 'cause I want to, but because I got bills. I'm not a big fan of having bills, but I do have bills. So that is life. But with that said, what? Some raid Hell Hero. Seems like it should be fun. So, thank you guys for watching. Have a good day, night, afternoon, morning, whatever you are. Hope to see you again real soon. And take care.